today. This is my first live on YouTube. It's crazy. I don't think it's my first live actually. So this series is called the Feminine Wisdom Series, and we'll be talking about all things femininity and how to embrace it, what like the triggers, the traumas that you need to heal, to embrace your feminine energy. And I'll be giving you advice and tools, tips and tricks on what to look for, how to heal, and how to embrace your womanhood. Okay, so I don't know what I want to talk about in this series. So this is just going to be like an impromptu. Maybe next week I'll have something prepared. I'll probably ask you a question that I can answer live. But I really want you to interact. And I want this to be an interactive little like diary. I want it to be like a live journal where we talk about things all intimate, all feminine. So the thing that came to my mind about feminine energy is that a lot of us are doing the inner work. So we're doing the inner work. We are journaling, affirming, self-care, doing all that good stuff. But maybe you haven't broken through that ceiling. You haven't broken through really embracing your feminine energy. Maybe you haven't, that you can't get past a certain block. Maybe you're still going back to old patterns where you are trying to control everything, sabotaging yourself, or going back into perfectionism. And here's the reason why. Because at the subconscious level, you haven't shifted your identity. Your identity has not changed. So I want you to imagine in your mind, there is a movie playing. And in that movie, there is you. And either you are the main character of that movie, or either you're not. And the genre of that movie is either a romantic movie, or a horror movie, or a sad movie, or a thriller or action, depends on what's happening in your belief system. So your subconscious mind is where you create all these beliefs around your self-image. Is that the best way I want to describe it to you? Your self-image is what you see in the reflection when you look in the mirror. That's what's in your mind. But in your physical reality, wherever you see in the reflection isn't what's in your mind. It could be a younger version of you that was wounded, that was rejected, that felt unloved. That's usually the case for a lot of women who are trying to heal their feminine energy, but they keep going back to old patterns because in their mind, the character that's playing is of a young child or a young girl who wasn't loved properly. So if you want to embrace your femininity and your womanhood, you have to change the self-image, your self-concept, your identity. And this is what a lot of programs and coaches don't talk about. Is like, yes, you can do self-care, but self-care is like a conscious habit. The self-care happens automatically when you change the self-image. But a lot of us are doing it backwards. We're trying to create the self-care, set the boundaries without working on the subconscious mind and our belief systems. So when you're stuck in this pattern of sabotaging, perfectionism, going back to old habits, it's because at the root cause, which is your subconscious mind, there is a belief still where you believe you're unlovable, or you're not good enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're unworthy, or you don't deserve this life. And if you have that belief running, I want you to imagine it's a script. It's like literally a script that's running on repeat 24/7, 365 days of the year. It never lets up. It's like recorded non-stop. I'm unlovable. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. And you don't hear it, but you just by looking at your actions of sabotaging perfectionism is an indicator that you have that belief. So I want you to look at your actions to see if you have that belief. When things are not going your way, what's the first thing you say? Do you say to yourself, oh, why me? Why is it so hard? Da, 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 da. How do you react? If you start questioning and cussing, getting angry, that is a sign that in your subconscious mind, there's a belief running on repeat of I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough. If your reaction is, oh, so what? And you don't make no meaning of that chaotic or that challenge, that means you don't have the belief. Right? So that's the best way to indicate, to see whether you have that subconscious belief running on repeat is your behaviors when things are not going your way. So when you have those beliefs of I'm not good enough, what will happen is it will create your identity. And that identity is you stuck as that little girl who felt unloved. So imagine you're watching a movie On that screen, there's a little girl and bad things are just happening to her all the time. Her mom is not giving her attention. Her dad is not around. Kids are bullying her. She feels ugly. She's always getting judged. She has no friends. That's literally the movie that is playing. Now imagine that movie is playing all the time. So you feel still like that little girl who was never understood, never got what she wanted, felt unloved. You're now going to start acting out those behaviors. So you're acting out that behavior as an adult. You're still feeling like that little girl. You're still acting like that little girl who didn't get what she wanted. And the big indicator of this is when you're praying for something. Let's say you're asking Allah for something. You like maybe you're asking for a husband or a child, or you're asking for money or a holiday or to move home. A big indicator of whether you are still acting from that wounded self, that inner child who was wounded, is you don't believe that you are going to get what you pray for. There's like a sneaky feeling within you that, it just wasn't enough. I haven't prayed enough. I haven't done enough. Or Allah doesn't want to give it to me. I'm not meant to have it. Or there's just this like doubt, this undertone of doubt in your prayers where you're praying and you're just like, I'm just going to say it just because I have to. But really you don't believe you're going to receive it. That's another sign that you feel unworthy. So all these, and I want you to notice how these undertones and these undercurrents in your life are not massive things. They're not like traumatic, massive things. It's just micro things. And these micro things are creating the patterns in your life, okay? And this is why when you're doing inner work and you're doing the healing stuff around your feminine energy, it's like the self-care doesn't penetrate it deep enough because you're not getting to the root cause. You're not going to the subconscious layers. So before I end this live, because I want to talk for too long, I want to give you some journaling prompts. But these journaling prompts are going to really trigger you. They're going to hurt, and they're meant to hurt. It's meant to hurt so that you can uncover the layer that you're hiding behind self-care. Like a lot of us use self-care to hide our emotions. Like you probably clean the house or you probably put your makeup on and get ready, but deep down inside you're literally avoiding something, or you're sabotaging yourself. And if you notice that you're sabotaging yourself, oops, I thought my microphone is on. If you notice that you're sabotaging yourself, that's because you're trying to avoid an emotion. You have to remember, feminine energy is all about feeling to be. You have to feel something to become it. If you're feeling unloved, you're going to become unloved. If you're feeling unwanted, you're going to become unwanted. If you're feeling not good enough, you're going to become not good enough. So everything starts with a feeling for women, in the feminine energy. So here's the journaling prompts I want you to use. The first one is, why am I not good enough? Why am I not good enough? The second one is, why am I unlovable? Why am I unlovable? Third one, why am I unworthy? Why am I unworthy? And then the fourth one is, why am I unimportant? Why am I unimportant? So journal on these questions. Let the emotions come up. If you feel like you're feeling resistant to it, just sit with the feeling and say to yourself, nothing bad is going to happen. This is a perfect opportunity for me to express, for me to go within, for me to uncover a layer within. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Thursday. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.